It's getting creepy. It's
Creepy.
getting creepy.
Creepy.
Okay. Yo, we are back in the building. And of course, I'm not on camera, but y'all know what I look like. It's fine. Cool. We got to talk about a couple of things real quick. I mean, I know it's episodes going on right now, but I felt like, yo, why not have a little ponderosa real quick while the action is actually happening, right? So you might be watching Potomac right now. You might be watching Married to Medicine right now. But I just got done watching Speak on It with Shamea and Kandi. And we're going to get into the tea about the Real Housewives of Atlanta of it all. But first, let's get into this little scene that we got right here. In the upcoming episode of Married to Medicine, Phaedra is finally coming face to face with Apollo and his new wife. Well, his soon-to-be ex-wife. But the new wife, Sherien, I can never pronounce her name right. But it's interesting to watch this scene unfold because in the sneak peek provided to us by the Bravo Shade Room, shout out to the Bravo Shade Room on Instagram, but we see Dr. Heavenly calling Apollo, and Dr. Heavenly finds out that Apollo is bringing his wife. Dun, 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 dun. So the gag is now you will have another couple on the trip with a whole ex and new person situation. Man, this is some kind of scheme that Todd set up. Sorry, Todd. Justice for Todd. Justice for Todd and the schemes. Anyway, let's get into it. Okay, so as they are approaching, you see Apollo walking up and Sherien in the bathing suit and everybody's gasping, and you see Quad is like, ha, 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 come on, Apollo, come on, Apollo, come on, Apollo. Y'all know Apollo was coming.
Apollo! Come on through! Come on through!
I mean, she is real into it. It is like she is just giddy with glee. And so, as they board the boat, because everybody's gathered on a boat, and Phaedra's just sitting there with her new man, like twiddling her hair or whatever like that. And when they finally make it onto the boat, everybody is introducing themselves, and then Dr. Contessa says, "Oh, Phaedra, Sherien." Okay, I'm probably jacking up her name, and Lord forgive me for that. Justice to Sherien, but I am trying to get it as correct as I can without necessarily knowing the correct pronunciation myself. So bear with me. But anyway, I mean no harm. So as I said, and that's when Phaedra really gives us the tea on how she really feels. Now, I know y'all remember seeing in the previous cut of the episode that last week, I think it was the other week ago, when we saw Dr. Heavenly tell Phaedra on the phone that she was inviting Apollo. And in the scene, Phaedra was like, I mean, okay, I guess. And then in her confessional, she was like, well, I really don't know how I feel about it. And then now she has a whole other opinion about it, because maybe she's thought better of it. Maybe she didn't know Sherien was coming or not. But when she does see her, she's like, she tells, of course, she tells Contessa, yes, I know her. And then we see Phaedra in her confessional says, yes, that is my ex-husband's mistress who he was cheating on me with while we were married. And it had to smack me about the face. It slapped me about the face in the memory that is how that relationship started. Why didn't y'all remind me? Well, that's okay, because the editors do. The editors flash back to a scene from Real Housewives of Atlanta. And if you are OG, you know this scene I'm talking about, where Apollo and Sherien walk up to the group. I don't know where they are. I don't know if they at the OLG. I don't remember where they were. They were somewhere all gathered together. And you hear Sherien say something to the effect of,
Wifey wasn't around, so I was there more than she was.
So she was basically like throwing it out there like, yeah, I mean, she was missing in action and I was filling his tank up or whatever like that. So I have completely forgot about that, to be quite honest with you. So it's crazy to see where they are now. Like, I mean, was that a waste of time? I mean, I don't know. Maybe probably not. I mean, you can't say it's a waste of time. It's better to have love than never have loved at all, right? So anyway, I'm sure she is just, over the moon with that. So whatever. So in Phaedra's confessional, she's like, it's creepy. It is creepy. It's getting sticky. It's getting creepy. So Phaedra says it's getting creepy up in here. What do y'all think? Are you excited about this? I mean, I'm waiting to see how this really plays out. And it makes me real upset that Phaedra is not going to be at this reunion along with Apollo and Sherien. I'm so, Anyway, I digress. Let's get into the speak on it with Shamea and Kandi. So Kandi ain't done a speak on it in a minute. Kandi girl, where are you at? I mean, I know you are out there. She tells us she living her best life, traveling the world in the streets and such and such and such and such. And I would be too. But still, girl, you ain't got time to phone in or speak on it or something like that. Anyway, hopefully she'll do some speak on this with some people that's still on the show, because I would actually like that. But I mean, I don't know. Who I don't know who would do it though. Maybe the new girls will probably do it. I definitely think the new girls would do it. I could see Britt doing it. I could see maybe Kelly doing it. But anyway, I digress. It's about Shamea. So Shamea, I mean, I feel like the interview was great. I think that Shamea has a lot of personality. She has a great story. And I don't mean storyline. I hate when people talk about a storyline. I feel like that's so new school. But because I feel like when we was watching back in the day, we wasn't watching for a storyline. We were watching because we didn't really know what they was doing. Like, we was just following fabulous people around as they did things and they shaded each other and they wasn't invited to parties. Like, I mean, everybody had a story, but it didn't have to be a storyline. And I hate that phrase, because I feel like having a personal story is so much different from having a storyline. But that's a whole different argumentation for a whole different day. And I don't feel like going down that path right now because I'm having too much fun. So anyway, back to Shamea. She has a great personal story. And I didn't realize that she was in the drum line. I didn't know she had done all of these things. Like, she got a lot of accolades or whatever, but she just I think based on this interview, you will see that she always has seemingly gotten a raw deal. Like some type of there was even a situation where they tried to erase her out of a group or something like that. I really don't know. It was very strange. And I was like, girl, you should talk to somebody about that. Anyway, I feel like Shamea is going to be a great addition. What I do sort of wonder, though, because she talked about having to feel like she had to tiptoe around Portia because she's so used to having been a friend of, where she really wouldn't have that much of a voice, and she was never given any confessionals or anything like that. And she talked about having to sort of get out of her own head about having to tiptoe around Portia because she was like, so used to being on the show as Portia's friend, and she's wondering like what's off limits and what, trying to weigh those options of real friendship and what's, now that I'm on this platform with you as an equal, what is gonna be our dynamic. And I think that would be the case for anybody. But in my opinion, if you really that close friends, you're gonna have those conversations and you'll be like, girl, I don't want to talk about this. Can we not talk about that? Like, I would be having those types of conversations with my friends, or I would be having a conversation with my friend about like, girl, okay, so let's really give them this, right? If I don't really want to talk about that, but if we can give them this is personal, this is deep. Like, I felt like they should have been having those types of conversations, but it don't sound like they was. It almost actually sounds like she was saying how they was like, she texted Portia when she got the gig, or got the audition. Because Kandi is the one who was championing for Shamea. It was not Portia. Now, I'm not saying that Portia never did that, but what I am saying is Kandi, it is very, like Kandi emphasizes she fought for her even when she was leaving the show. She said, Shamea's that girl. You need to talk to Shamea. And even Shamea heard that through, I'm assuming, production. So for me, I'm like, Kandi, one of them type of friend that you want to have, and that they be talking good about you when you ain't in the room. Okay. Now, my question was Portia advocating for her as well? Now, there's two ways of thinking about this. To a certain degree, Portia could be like, listen, I don't know if I want my best friend to be on the show with me, because friends don't always work out on these shows. So there could have been a back of her mind thought about that, but I really don't know. What I do know is that when she found out that she got the peach, Portia would text her back and was like, congratulations. Given that it was a text exchange, that sounds like a little impersonal, but I mean, maybe that's just me. I don't know. Who knows? Anyway, I don't want to read too much into it. I think I got that conversation in my mind that they are having where Shamea is trying to talk to her about their friendship, and she asks, Shamea has to ask her, am I boring you? And so I think that is sticking out in my mind, but Kandi does give her some great advice. Like, don't read the comments, be yourself, basically. When these girls try to come to you with a practice reads, cut them off. Kandi's like, cut them off. Be rude. Cut them. Chop that tree down. She was like, these girls will come up with some type of rehearsed read, and as soon as you see them coming out with a long soliloquy, she said, cut them off. And in my mind, I was thinking that she was talking about Phaedra, but she didn't say that. So I don't know who she's talking about, but that's what she said. The advice section to me was probably the absolute best, because the way Kandi was giving her advice, I was just hollering. I had to rewind it a couple of times myself, to be honest with you. It was just that funny to me. So if you do get a chance to watch it, go back and watch it. I think it's a great introduction to Shamea if you don't really know her story, and then go follow her on her YouTube channel, because I think you will be able to get more of who she is there. Let me know if you guys are tuned in, tapped into what's going to happen with Married to Medicine tonight. I'm super excited about it. I can't wait to talk all about it in full on our recap. And then let me know if you guys caught the speak on it with Shamea. With that being said, be sure to subscribe to the channel, even though I'm not on camera. Sometimes most of the time I'm on camera, but like today, y'all know I'm on the go. For those who know, y'all know I'm on the go, and you know why. But, I'll be back. I'll be back on camera. So subscribe, like, comment, let me know your thoughts, and I'll catch you in the next video.